Hello everyone, this is Professor Q. This is the second part of You Don't Have to Forgive to Heal. Regaining a sense of power and control is an important aspect of the healing journey. One way survivors can reclaim their power is by recognizing that they can heal, regardless of whether or not they choose to forgive their abuser. Choosing not to forgive can be an empowering choice for survivors. It can be a way of setting their boundaries and refusing to allow the abuser to have power over them. It can also be a way of holding the abuser accountable for their actions and acknowledging the harm they have caused. By choosing to focus on their own healing and well-being, survivors can take back control of their lives and begin to move forward in a positive direction. The skills and strategies needed to cope with trauma must be developed to ensure a life that's happier and more fulfilling. You can avoid being stuck in time and reliving the trauma over and over. Ultimately, the healing journey is a personal one, and survivors have the power and the right to choose their own path to that healing. Whether they choose to forgive their abuser or not, they can still find a sense of power and control by taking ownership of their own healing journey and refusing to let the trauma of the past define their present or future. Take advantage of therapists and counselors who can offer a range of therapeutic approaches and techniques to help survivors work through the emotional and psychological impact of trauma. They can also provide guidance and support in going through the complex emotions and challenges that can arise during healing. Also, family, friends, and professionals working with victims often create a block to healing by insisting there can be no healing unless there is forgiveness. If the victim is unable or unwilling to forgive, they could feel doomed to never healing and may even experience further harm if they believe there is no hope. Survivors of abuse may feel pressured to forgive their abuser before they are ready, or may feel guilty or ashamed if they are unable to forgive. This can prevent them from fully processing their trauma and can prolong their healing journey. It's important for loved ones and professionals to provide support and validation for survivors, regardless of whether or not they choose to forgive their abuser. This can involve listening without judgment, providing resources and support for healing, and respecting the survivor's autonomy. Encouraging survivors to focus on their own healing and well-being can be a more empowering and validating approach. By creating a supportive and understanding environment, survivors can feel more comfortable and secure. The loved ones and professionals you chose to be involved may share red flags which they feel could hinder your recovery. But it must be clear there is a difference between sharing concerns versus dictating what you must do or belittling your choices to recovery. Ultimately, it's important to remember that healing is a personal journey, and each survivor has the right to choose their own path with support, but not with pressure from others. Part of the role of loved ones and professionals is to support, share possible next steps, and validate survivors. There must not be any forms of limiting possible ways to heal by imposing their own beliefs or expectations about forgiveness. This is about you, not them. The idea that forgiveness is a mandatory first step to healing is being pushed by so many groups, programs, and individuals that a person can be blinded to other possibilities. Remember, however you chose to work through reclaiming your own wellness can be changed as you move on. Others should be supportive in your final decisions, but never dictating that you must forgive in order to heal and become healthy. Believe me, if forgiveness is not part of your plan at the moment, you can still heal and move on. At some other point in your life, you may decide to forgive, but that needs to be your choice. Please feel free to send your thoughts on this or suggestions for other videos. This is Prof. Q. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you again soon.